It's been a minute, but I am back with an update. You probably noticed a few things are a little bit different. Um, but it has been, my last update was in December and it is now April. So it's been about 4 months. Um, I mean, holidays are just busy, life gets busy, and I had to prioritize some things, and this kind of fell to the bottom of the list. Not that this isn't super fun and important, but when things get crazy, this is kind of the last thing that I have time for. But as everyone knows, a lot of people have more time on their hands right now. Not to say my life is still incredibly busy. My daughter's daycare shut down. I am furloughed. I am a hairstylist, so I am not working anymore, which makes total sense, but also it's kind of a little bit of a bummer. So, I mean, things have changed, but we're going on week 3 now, so things are a little bit, we've kind of settled into somewhat of a routine, and I figured while my husband and my daughter are out in our yard mowing our lawn, I'm going to take 30 minutes and just hop on here and kind of show everything I've been working on. As I work on my projects, I don't put them away usually until I hop on here, and my stitching area was just out of control, so I had to jump on here. And besides the fact that, I mean, we've all been staying home right now, so it's nice to kind of interact with this community, so I am super excited to be on here. I am in a different spot. My phone was losing its charge, so I had to, as I was setting everything up, I got the little alert that's 15%. I was like, oh my god, I knew I had a very limited amount of time while they're on the mower in our yard, so I was running around. I actually had to plug my phone in and the charger doesn't reach to the normal area. That's my dog back there. My charger doesn't reach to my normal area, so I had to kind of loop around and flip you a different direction. So that's kind of, whoop, whoop, that little area there. That's where I normally stitch right there. So hopefully that window isn't too distracting, but I had to work with what I was given, and I kind of had to fly. I was literally running around my house. I was sweating, and I was like, oh my god. I stress ate some M&Ms. I had to brush my teeth really fast before I got on here. So I made it, but I'm on. So it's happening. I actually went and filmed this about 2 weeks ago. Made a 40-minute video, got it done. My husband had our daughter outside to distract her for a little bit, which was super sweet. And then that night at 11 o'clock when I was I'm going to edit it for a little bit, it was gone. It just didn't save for some reason. So that was super frustrating. And besides the fact that I haven't been doing my makeup for 3 weeks, I mean, why do you do that? And today I had to do a little promotional photo for our salon, so I had to look somewhat presentable, so I figured that happened. I'm going to knock this out at the same time because day-to-day basis, I mean, who's really trying right now, honestly? Not me. So here we are. I hope everyone's healthy. I know a lot of people have been shying away from talking about the virus, but I mean, to a certain extent, it is what it is. It's out there. It's happening. I'm trying not to, I keep saying, I try not to stress about it. I feel great during the daytime, but then things I'm not falling asleep till at least 3 a.m. And even then my brain, I'm having I've always had weird dreams, but I get crazy anxiety dreams when I'm really stressed out. So I've had dreams I'm on a cooking show and I'm unprepared. And there's another weird one. My husband's that's extra. And it is. My dreams are totally, but it's just things I'm stuck in these dreams where I'm totally unprepared for a situation. I'm that's my stress dream. But then I get weird ones. Last night I woke up and I thought there was a spider on my nightstand, and I almost got ready to wake up my husband, but then I came to a little bit more. So I just know I'm not in that deep sleep where my mind's half awake anyway. So it's been interesting, but I mean, we're okay. We're all healthy. This was a lot of people I know, this was a huge change in their schedules and routines. And for the first time, ever, I'm on unemployment, which that was super scary. And when you can't plan for all of a sudden dropping down to 40% of your salary, that's scary. But, my husband's been able to work from home and his job hasn't been affected. So overall, I know things could be a lot worse, and I think a lot of people are counting their blessings and just kind of trying to do the best that we can. I mean, unfortunately, this is out of our control, so you just have to roll with it. I thought I'd be stitching more than I have. I have a 2.5-year-old to keep entertained. 24/7 now. So it's like, it's been a lot. It's been a lot of fun though. We've been getting outside, even though, I mean, I know some people are going like crazy and they're like, I am not leaving my house. That is not our life. So, I mean, we only leave the house. Me and my husband trade off going to the grocery store once a week. Besides that, we're just going on walks, and we've been actually riding our bikes a lot. Last spring, we bought bikes, and I'm like, thank God we did that, because that's been our one outlet with I mean, you can't go to like playgrounds. You can't go to certain. My daughter even loves to go shopping, and she begs to go, and I'm like, sorry, you can't go. So biking has been our one like outlet thing as a family we can do together. So we found some really good like local paths that are paved, and we've been doing that. So that's, I mean, besides that, that's the only time we leave our house or property. I'm like, luckily we have a yard too. So I know like tonight we're going to make s'mores. So we've just been getting a lot of family time together, and it's been really great. So despite the craziness of the situation, I think a lot of good things are coming out of it too. So, yep. So I mean, basically I do have some haul, and then I have like 4 or 5 whips I need to show that I've been working on the last few months. It isn't as bad as I thought. You know, you think over 4 months you'd have a lot more, but I don't have anything too crazy. So I was at least somewhat monogamous. There's a new start in there, so I have lots of fun stuff to show. So first thing, I'm just gonna hop right into what I've been working on, and then I'll do haul at the end, and we'll go from there. First thing I think I worked on this back in February, is A Savior's Praise. I bought this one last year from Market. It is beautiful, and I've actually finished that whole top border, so that was super exciting. So yes, that's the chart there. And this, I've been working on a lot of big projects, so I'm literally probably gonna have to stand up for some of these. Oh no, that one's okay. Boop, let me just scooch back a little bit. Move my chairs out of the way. There you go. So I will just work from that side, and I'll just work my way across there. The colors are so pretty. I'm just doing this in the DMCs. I think this is on a 32 count, I want to say. So, oh, look at that chicken. That chicken is so cute. All the way across. I've actually been itching to work on this one. I haven't worked on this one since February, so I will probably end up taking this out again. That scissor and spool is super, super cute too. This is the side here. Oops, now it's like too low. This is the side here. When I had first started it, I had stitched it, and I like went way too far in on my border, and I was going to be short on this side, so this is like the area I had to totally redo. So when I got back around and restitched that, I was like, oh, thank God. Now I can like start from square one here. But yeah, I mean, this is cut to size, and as you guys can see, it's not going to be, whoops, a super small piece. It's pretty big. Also, if you guys haven't noticed, I'm literally like, I just take a picture from work. I already told you guys that. So I had like a somewhat presentable shirt on, and then I'm literally wearing like purple sweatpants. I have no shame. I don't even care one bit. I would be wearing like lounge clothes. I've been laughing. All of our laundry, we're still producing like an insane amount of laundry, but it's all lounge and like pajamas, and I'm like, oh my gosh, we're just not even pretending to try right now. Why would you? We're all stuck at home day in and day out. I did like last week, I had like a moment where I was like I almost felt like I was having like an anxiety attack a little bit, but it's just like feeling trapped like in my house, and there's nothing literally there's nothing we can do. We just have to kind of throw your hands up at some point, but it was just not knowing when it's going to end. I am very type A, so I like a plan. I like to know what's going on, and this is where you just don't. So originally when our salon shut down in March, we were given like a 1-day heads up. I mean, everything happened like really, really fast, which was crazy. We were given a 1-day heads up. Our manager sent out a thing that's like, hey, tomorrow's our last day. And originally it was 2 weeks, so we were supposed to be going back like tomorrow. And then our governor ordered the stay at home until April, I think like 21st or something. But as a salon, we decided to be shut down. I think as of right now, it's May 1st is our first day back, so it's at least another month. But it's a lot. It's a lot. And I'm like, I know some people haven't been talking about it, but I think it's also kind of important to talk about, to know like you're not alone. Everyone's freaking out. Everyone's a little panicky, but you just have to go with it. Sorry, I'm looking for my next one I was working on. Around Christmas time, I was working, I don't know, I think I was just, guys might have seen this the last time there. I think I have figured out how to like put a picture in, so if I get fancy, you will see a picture of this the last time, because I know I personally really like that when people do that in videos, so I think I figured it out. I was playing around with it, so it shouldn't be too hard. But again, this picture does not do it anywhere near the justice. I actually bought this at StitchCon last year when I saw the model. And in this one, you can kind of see how, there you go. It looks like a lot of reds and greens, but it's actually stitched and like, it's like raspberries and purples, and it's so pretty. So this one I was working on around Christmas time. I think the last time I just gotten like the M and the E. So now I have the whole Mary done. I have that whole Mary section done. It's just so freaking pretty. And then I started on the first quilt block is that Christmas tree. There are a tons of confetti with those little ornaments and everything. And then it's eventually going to be backstitched. See, you guys, I don't even have my nails done right now. That's how we're rolling right now. So I don't have it all together, I promise. These are actually little quarter stitches, so it's going to line up. I like my back stitch, if I can help it, I like to line up exactly where it's going. And I wanted that tree really crisp in there, so that's what I decided to do. So it's a lot of fiddly kind of little teeny tiny work. That's Rainbow Gallery up there and in the tree, and I don't know if you guys can see. And then the Mary, yeah, you can kind of see the sparkle a little bit. So this is going to be gorgeous when it's done. But like this does not look like that. I'm like, it looks so, like it's that area there that looks it looks so dark in the picture, and it's really, really not. This is a 32 count. I believe it's a Lugana. I just dyed myself. I've been having a lot of fun dyeing my own fabrics, so I've been doing that more just for fun. I'm sure I'll get over that at some point, but I've been having a grand old time with that. I'll show you. I've been working on Mermaid of Atlantis by Mirabilia. I've been working on this with Nicole off to the Flosses on Instagram. We've been doing a little stitch along with this. I've actually gotten really pretty far with this. It's not focusing, but that's okay. And it's also, my light is kind of bright. But this is probably the project that I'm pretty close to a finish on, but I'm waiting for it. She's like absolutely swamped with work right now. We were supposed to meet up like right when things started getting crazy. We had planned on meeting south of Indianapolis, kind of halfway for us. But I think that was on like the 16th, and that's right when things got crazy. So I'm like, you know, like right when we thought we were going to hang out for just like an afternoon, a pandemic hits and kind of wipes that out. So that was kind of a bummer, but that's life. I had met Nicole at StitchCon last year. I think this year I am signed up to go. Probably not, because as of right now, StitchCon's like middle of June. Right now, the earliest I'm going back to the salon is May. So it's like this whole situation, like I can't save money right now. Like it's just a lot, and it's probably the best decision not to go. So I don't even know. I think they're throwing around maybe canceling it or the convention. So I mean, there's just a lot up in the air, but I'm already thinking I'm probably going to end up dropping out, which is a bummer, but you know, you have to be safe too. I think the last time you might have seen, so this is kind of where I was at. So I mean, that's like the whole top, basically the top half of her. It's a fish in a shell. Her skin I did all 1/1. This is all the called for threads and DMC, and there's water lilies in there, but I did her skin 1/1. I think that came out really good. I was really, really pleased. It took an eternity to do that, but it came out great. It does look a little funny before you bead it, but that's okay. Like there's going to be tons of beads and that treasure in her hand. There's beads in her hair. Then I've also gotten, let me see if I can drop this. Bloop. That much done too. Ah, that looks so good. I just want to finish her. There you go. So I have done all that. So I mean, that's a lot of, I'm always amazed when I look at them. I'm like, wow, I have gotten a lot of stitching in. She's going super fast now. Her tail is, sorry if you hear my mower. Her tail is, sorry. I keep waiting for my husband to do something right out our front door. Okay. But yeah, the tail is like big solid blocks of color, so it's going pretty quick. That has a ton of Krynic in it. It's like a crest or something. And then her tail has a lot of Krynic in it too. There you go. You can see kind of sparkle in there. She's going to be beautiful when she's done. Gorgeous. My daughter has named her Ariel, even though she does not have red hair. She's obsessed with Disney, so anytime I'm working on her, she's like, ooh, Ariel. And she really loves to look at her. This is another piece. This is actually the first piece of fabric I had dyed myself. It was a cheapy piece of linen from Hobby Lobby. And just like dye that I kind of like modeled. It came out so good. It was so much. And that's when I realized, I was like, ooh, okay. Dyeing your own fabrics is really fun. And this was such a cheap piece of linen too. I mean, I wouldn't do anything like I want to like anything you want to like pass down to anyone, because I don't know how it would last. But I mean, it came out really good and it's been fine to stitch on. So if you want to save some money that way, absolutely can. I don't know, you can't see out my door anyway. I'm sure they're zipping by. My next one is my Heaven and Earth. This is one, I mean, you'll see progress on it if I put the, that's when I was figuring out my fabric. That's all my scribbling on the side. Mother and Daughter Hug by Heaven and Earth Design. It's super pretty. I'll put in a quick picture because the black and white does not do it justice. Maybe I'll finish it in my lifetime, maybe not. It's fine either way. But I almost have a full page done on this. Sorry, I had all this folded so nicely like the last time I did this video. And then, after you film, everything gets like totally crazy. And I didn't really plan on doing this video today, so I was like literally running around like a mad person grabbing everything out. So that is almost a full page right there. So it's just background. I mean, it's nothing really crazy. That's all filled in. It's just like white basically. I think I just have to go like down to there and that's the page. So I mean, I'm getting there. It's picking up a lot of steam on it. And then you if anybody does Hades, you kind of gas out on them and it's just like, ugh, enough is enough, especially with background, but I'm in it now. But I mean, literally again, let me back all the way up here. I mean, yeah, that's where I'm at. And this is my fabric. So good luck to me, right? But I enjoy stitching on it, and at the end of the day, that's all that matters. That's all that really matters. But yeah, I'm doing all like DMC threads, 1/1 and 25 count on this. I think that's what most people do. And this was just a pre-gridded piece of fabric that has been working great. I just like an array to work on. We'll get to market. We'll talk about market, but there's other projects that I haven't attempted before that I want to try. Nothing crazy, but just like some 1/1 and just to play around with stuff. Okay. Next one was my New Year, New Start. I think in my last video I might have talked about some ones that I had been thinking about starting. I decided to start my Hands Across the Sea, Sarah B. We'll talk about, I switched out, I originally had 4 colors I subbed out on this. I ended up ripping it out and hating some of it, and so I only have 2. But this one, it's beautiful the way it is, but there is just a lot of yellow. And now, of course, when I started stitching it, then I'm like, I don't know, maybe I should have just left it, but I'm in too deep now. I'm going to leave it the way it is. But 2 of the yellows, so there's a whole lot of yellow in this. 2 of the yellows I subbed out for a dusty rose color and then a burgundy color. And I think I like it so far. Then I was like, oh my gosh, did I just totally massacre this? But Nicolette, that's whose Hand Across the Sea. I believe that's her name. But actually, I listen to her talk all day long. I saw an interview from Market with her and I'm like, oh, she's just so great. But she said something and she's like, I encourage people to do their own color combos and everything. So I was like, okay, that makes me feel a little better. Not like I totally desecrated a beautiful sampler or anything. And I'll show you the whole border, the double border there, that's all charted as satin stitch. And I'm like, oh, I'll try it. It's coming out really pretty. It drives me crazy though, because I like full coverage, and satin stitch on a linen is going to get, sometimes you see threads at the end of the stitch, but you just have to get over that at a certain point. But I didn't realize, I knew There we go, let it focus. I knew the border, like that double border, I knew that was all satin stitch, but then there's a lot, which I mean you could also just sub for a cross stitch too if you hated satin stitch. But like the berries in the bowl, that's satin stitch. All, come on, focus. You can do it. There you go. All the grass, that's satin stitch. There's just like a whole lot of it hidden in there. Let me focus that. There we go. It's all over the place. So I mean, but then I was looking at the chart and I was like, okay, you could definitely sub that out for a cross stitch if you really hated it, but I was up for a little bit of a challenge, so I just went for it. So that is the sampler, Sarah Brazier, 1829, yeah. 1829. I love that deer. I just love the big deer. You'll see another one when I get to it. And this is actually the one I've been working on most recently. This is my start on her. Whoop. So I've been working down. So this is like, the top is page 1 and page 2 where that big bird is, and then I decided to drop down. So that's with like that new, whoop, where that new border is coming in there. That's down onto some page, but I just decided to drop down rather than go straight across. So as you can see, my colors, I subbed in like that dark color and then, whoop, 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 that dustier pink color. So these are the two subbed colors. And at first I was going to do a straight conversion, but then there were certain things that needed like these birds here. Like if I did that all in a dark red, that would be, it just make it a little dark. So I've been basically going motif by motif, and then I just kind of decide what way I'm going to do. So, and then of course it just messes with your head a lot too, because then of course like I did this first and I did this bird and I was like, oh, I wish I would have made that the burgundy color like that, so it kind of tie together. It'll be fine when it's all done. It's not that serious. So I'm trying not to overthink it. I had subbed in a darker pink for that pink, and that's what it was way too bright and too much. That's just the called for pink there. And I'm like, okay, some things are better left just leave it as charted. I went a little too crazy for my first time switching colors up, so lesson learned there. So there was a lot of ripping and stitching at first, but I feel like I've kind of found my pace with this. What kind of cracks me up is there's this big old bird. I don't know. To me, it looks like he has a club foot, but I always call him like the club foot bird. And there's going to be a matching one on the other side because it's a sampler, and this one seems to be pretty symmetric too, all the way down. I don't know if he has a club foot. I don't know if that's supposed to be a flower or what that little guy is there, but I just call him my big club-footed bird. There's a lot. I didn't realize how many birds are in this too. There's a whole bunch of birds in this. But I think when it's done, it's going to be beautiful. Again, I showed my husband the fabric the other night, and he goes, so like, what are you going to, like, what do you do with that when you're done with it? And I'm like, this you would probably frame and put on the wall. And he was like, our whole house is going to be decorated when we're like 70, because, I mean, look at this. This is another one. I cut 2 size, so this is 2 size. There you go, there's the bottom. I mean, I'm only 5'1", I'm not a big person, but, I mean, that's pretty serious right there. But she's going to be absolutely stunning when she's done. It's pretty close to it, like a square, too. I forget what the dimensions are. And this is my first 36 count piece of fabric too. But that's been, I mean, it was tiny at first, but now I really, especially this is 2/2 on 36, which I know some people don't do, but I love the coverage, so I'm just rolling with it. If I was using like silks or fancy floss or anything like that, that would get super expensive super fast, but just with normal cotton DMC or some knockoff brand, you'd be fine doing 2/2. It hasn't been bulky or gotten in my way at all. Let me see, on 36 count, it is almost 27 by 27. So I mean, yeah, it's no joke. It's a big girl. But yeah, that's all I've been working on. So, I think that was 4 or 5 projects, but I feel like over the past few months, I've gotten a decent amount of stitching done. I've been really happy with all the progress on that, especially that mermaid. That mermaid's in my sight right now. So we're done with everything I've been working on, so we'll just jump right into haul. A couple of them were like gifted to me, which that was amazing. That's the first time that any of that has ever happened before. So that was like super fun. So my first one was around Christmas time. in one of the stash and load groups, they had, a lot of people were doing like random acts of kindness where they put up a chart and then you'd say like, me please, and they do a drawing, and I happened to win one of those randomly, which was super exciting. Out of like a few hundred people, I got this message. I mean, I was just throwing my names and things that I really enjoyed, and I was on a Mirabilia kick. Kind of still am. I can't wait to start my next one once I get this mermaid done. But I put in at the Met, I won her off of one, and it worked out perfectly. It was at the end of a busy Saturday. I was at work an extra hour, making someone white, platinum blonde, of course, but I got stuck there late. I hadn't eaten, and I was just like so frazzled. It was right before Christmas, and I ran back and grabbed my phone, and I saw that I'd won this. This was such a nice surprise. I think she's so pretty. Even my husband's like, oh, I really like her. And, that great headpiece she has, and I think she's so pretty. She's gonna be gorgeous when she's done. So I would like to start her sooner than later, so hopefully she's in. It's kind of sad. I was gonna do this like huge mania, and I kind of had to put a lot of those on hold because my job went away. So like I think I have 2 things kitted up right now, and depending on what happens with like unemployment and how much money everybody gets, I'm like, I might, but I just feel when things are like uncertain like that, I feel weird spending money on myself. So she's the first one. I don't know when I'll start her. This summer would be great, like as soon as I finish the mermaid maybe, but I just think she's so pretty. There was one day me and my husband went down to Indianapolis. We had like a little bit of like a date afternoon. And I wanted to stop in an L&S. It was I believe it was Always in Stitches, I think was the one we stopped at. Don't quote me on that. No, I'm pretty sure it is Always in Stitches. This is Noblesville, Indiana. And it is in a pricier suburb of Indianapolis, so I should have known, but it was cute. It was still fun to stop in. It was definitely more of a needlepoint store, and their cross-stitch, I had wanted to kit up a project, and they did not have the threads or the linen or anything to do that, so I ended up buying a few charts instead, which were still more expensive than like shops I can find online that I like to buy from, so I'll probably just stick with that. It's just nice when you have like the shops I buy from online are either people that I've met at like Fire Poppies. I buy from Susan because she's just great. I met her last year at StitchCon. I love her, and I like giving those people my business rather than ones that it wasn't like a strict cross-stitch store. So, but I still did a little bit of shopping. I got the Songbirds Garden number 11. Autumn one. It says Dream. Sorry, it's in the plastic. I had these all out. Sorry, that's my husband outside, so the dogs are going crazy. But it's an autumn one. I don't have a ton of autumn stuff, so I wanted to get a little autumn one. I just think it'd be definitely something I'd put in my house, so I figured why not. I'm going to go through this fast because I don't want them to come in. And another autumn one, a Glendon Place. I don't own one of their charts, so this just looked fun to stitch. No other reason. I saw it and I was like, oh, that's fun. It's whimsical. It's bright. Okay, I'll buy it. You know, sometimes I plan when I'm going to purchase, and sometimes I just grab it and go. But I think this would be super fun to stitch. Probably a pain in the butt once I get into it. Sorry, you can see my ring light. There we go. Yeah, probably be a pain in the butt once you get in there, but it would still be a lot of fun. I'm real sorry if you hear my dogs. I was literally like, usually they go crazy the whole time my husband's mowing, but I gave them calming treats because I didn't want to listen to them whine like that the whole time. This is actually going to be one of my new starts. This is Songbirds Garden Series number 4. It is the Robin. There you go. I am gonna dye my own piece. I have a big chunk from Sarah B. When I got that, I had to cut the fabric to size, so I had leftover, and I have enough for this one. But I'm a little nervous that the 36 count is gonna shrink when I dye it. I'm still gonna do it, but I'm a little nervous about it. So we'll see what happens with that. But I already have like the colored RIT to basically get something kind of close to that. So, but I have the threads and everything. I mean, it's literally literally all ready to go. I just have to dye that, and then I can basically start it whenever I want to. There was something I put out, I think it was Stitchy Wish List, the tag going around. And so I just kind of threw up there a chart that I had been looking for, and I just don't really see around, the Red Deer Sampler by GGR. Told my husband to go away for a couple more minutes. I put it out there, and someone had popped up and was like, hey, I have that. I can send it to you. I already have it stitched. Sorry, I don't know if they're really distracting or not. Anyway, I have like 3 more things to get through and I'm done. We're just going to power through. So this is, she sent, I was like, oh, okay, but she'd already stitched it. I guess she wasn't doing anything with it. So she sent it to me. So I have the Red Deer sampler. I am super excited about this. My birthday is in May, so I'm thinking this might be a birthday start since it was gifted to me, but I think this is gorgeous. So that's at least the plan right now. We'll see what happens. But at least, like, at first I was going to buy all of, yeah, it's all in Gentle Art threads. At first I was going to get all that, but I'll probably just do DMC conversion and maybe Gentle Art, like the deer or something. Because a lot of, I mean, you don't necessarily need... Yes, the dogs are gone. You don't necessarily need to, like, do all of this in general. You're not going to see the variegation in a lot of it, so... Yep. There it is. So I was just super deep fried cupcake, now that I can hear myself think. Deep fried cupcake, which is an awesome handle, by the way, too. She's the one that gifted this to me, and I think Andrea, I saved her little, I don't want to put her address up there, but I saved her little address back there, down there, so I know her name, because I just think, I was just totally blown away that someone was like, I have that, here you go, and I was like, oh, that was just, it was a lot. It was a whole lot, but so nice. So Andrea, if you happen to be watching this for some reason, thank you so much. I appreciate that, and I literally cannot wait to start that. That's at like the top of my list of things to chart up next. And then that is all of the haul non-market. I got 3 charts from market, so I kind of behaved myself, which I was very proud of because I was constantly like all through market, like adding stuff to my cart, taking stuff out of my cart, and adding and taking out. It's like I would kind of like binge, which is so much fun to do. It's kind of like shopping without spending the money. But I ended up with 3 charts. So I guess they were like kind of my top 3 that I really enjoyed. And so my first one was Lindy Stitches, Mary Mary Needleworker. I think this is just darling. All little motifs and everything. And originally when I first saw it, which I do like, because she gives 2 colorways. She gives the daytime and there's a nighttime one. I originally thought, I was like, oh, well, I love this one. But then on her channel, she showed this one all stitched up and finished. I like the dark background. I just like the orange skirt. I am a nighttime stitcher, so, which kind of looks like nighttime to me. I literally, when I stitch, I mean, sometimes during nap time, I'll sit down and stitch. Usually that doesn't happen too often. Usually like my stitching is from like 10 to midnight because I'm a night owl anyway. That probably seems super late to some people, but that's kind of my time. And right now, sorry, there's a bug. Right now with everything going on, I'm up until like 1 or 2. So, I mean, who cares? Not like I have to get up for a job, right? Just being a mom. So yeah, so I'm thinking I'm going to do it in that colorway. I just need to brag on my child for a hot second right now. We just transitioned her. It's not even like a big girl bed. It's the crib. We took the rail off, which at 2.5, she's even a little late for that. I was a little nervous about it, but she is doing so good. I don't think she knows, and we don't have, her bed isn't raised. So we kind of decided like 3 nights ago, we're like, oh, we've been talking to her about it. And she was like, yeah, I want a big girl bed. So we weren't prepared, and stores are closed. So we couldn't get like the bed rail that you put up so they don't fall out of bed. So she still has her crib and everything, but the mattress is basically like on the ground. So it's low, so it still feels, if that makes sense. She still feels like she's in like the crib with the bar off. But if she falls off her bed, she's just gonna roll like 3 or 4 inches onto the ground. So I didn't know how she was gonna do, because I'm like, is she gonna like pop out of bed and come running in. But even like, I mean, our schedule is just so off. So she's not going to bed till like 9. We usually started at like 8:39. And then, so it's, I mean, it's a late bedtime. It used to be 8. So it's like an hour and a half behind, which she's used to. That child, I thought, I'm like, oh my gosh, she's going to be like coming in her room at 7 a.m. She's been staying in her room until like 10 o'clock. Just reading books and hanging out. I'm like, she just feels like a hotshot now, just hanging out. So I've just been like, she's just like the best kid ever. So I just had to brag for a minute. I'm like, whose 2.5-year-old hangs out in their room until 10 o'clock? So this morning I walked in and she's like, ooh, I peed out of my diaper. And I was like, oh my gosh, we've been trying to explain, like, you can come out of your room. Like, come on out. But so we've been like, it's been tough because we've been like potty training. So she does great during the day. And then at nighttime, she just pees so much in her sleep. She's been getting some like leaks in her diaper. So we probably need to like either bump her up into like pull-ups or overnights or something. But as everyone knows, the stores are sold out of stuff. So I haven't even seen that stuff in our stores. So like, we're just using it, which is fine. She's like 100. I'm like, don't take that as like, oh my God, we're out of diapers. No, we have plenty of diapers. She probably just needs heavier ones now, but it's a learning process, but we are doing fine. It's just been fun to like improvise. We're like, well, you don't have a bed rail. We'll just put her mattress on the ground. And it's been an adventure. Our dinners have been kind of like hodgepodge by the end of the week, so we don't want to go out like too much. It's just like smorgasbord of like whatever we have left over. And despite the chaos, it's kind of fun. This is going to be like a crazy memory to look back on one day and be like, wow, like we really went through that. Hi.
Hi.
Okay, sorry. My husband popped in. We're doing a fire in our backyard, and he snuck in and grabbed the lighter, and I get very distracted very easily, so he came in and I was just like, woo, so I had to stop it for a minute just so I knew what I was doing. Okay, so that was Mary Mary Needleworker. I'm sorry if I am rambling, but this was like so like rushed. The first video that got deleted, I had like notes. We had we roll out this huge like art paper onto our kitchen table. We had that out for like a week. So I had like notes written down. I was like totally on it. That got thrown out. So I'm just like literally just like flying by the seat of my pants. So I'm real sorry. Like, I'm not mentioning people. I'm not saying the count of my fabric, but I mean, what can you do? Maybe next time I'll have my brain a little bit more together, but it is what it is. This is just a real chat anyway. It's nothing crazy. The next one that I had to have, the blue flower. I think a lot of people got this one, Huckleberry Farm. I want my fabric to look just like that because I think it is so pretty. That gray kind of purple color. I mean, it makes the house pop, the butterfly pop. I'm like, oh, this is just so much. I said I was actually looking at it recently. Let me see if I can get this to focus. Look, I saw that like the alphabet up here. Oh my gosh, my cat's coming on the table. Sorry if that shook the camera. That bear, and now he's bumping my chart. That bear kind of hanging out on that and bumping the border down. I think that was like the cutest thing I've ever seen in my whole life. And there was something up here, like I thought that was just an alphabet, and it says one for me, one for the basket. Oh, I just want to do this exactly as this is on here because I think this is beautiful. This is another one originally I was like, yes, Mania, gonna start it, but probably not Mania because that's like a few weeks away and we need to count our pennies right now. So soon, I was gonna say, I'm like, maybe in like, even though I have 2 charts like ready for potential like Mania, maybe I'll do something in like August, like once things get back to normal and things get rolling again. I'll do some type of August Mania. I don't know, we'll see. My last one, which there were so many Teresa Kogets that I wanted. So many. Basically all of them. But this is the one I ended up getting, Heaven and Nature. I think this is beautiful, which at first I was like, oh, it's not like really a Christmas one. You can put it up all year. But these are like, which you could convert to non-Christmas trees too. But those are like obviously Christmas trees. So whenever I get around to stitching this, but oh, that house is gorgeous. And the little raccoon on the top. Clearly, I've always like loved like foresty type animals. I grew up in New Jersey, and that's actually despite what people think, it's a super foresty state. So I kind of grew up in the forest, or a foresty area. I grew up in a development. Let's not get that twisted. My husband watches this. He'll be like, what the heck are you talking about? I did not grow up in a forest. I grew up in a development, but there's lots of woods, and we went hiking and canoeing and all types of outdoorsy stuff all the time. So, yep, I just saw this chart, was like, yes, please. Give me that one right now. But there's another, I forget the name of it. There's another big sampler that she did with like a big white house, and there's a couple on the top. I forget the name of it right now, but that's another one that I was like, ugh, I just want them all. Clearly, I don't do small projects. It's not really what I'm drawn to. I wish it was more what I was drawn to because I'd finish more stuff, but I just like the really big, complicated ones. So that's where we are. But I think that's it. I think I made it through everything. Hopefully this isn't too terribly long, but it's been a long time. Let's see if my cat wanted to come over, which he does not. He's just staring at me from the end of the table. But yeah, I guess we're gonna go, there he is. We're gonna go do a campfire outside with my family, so I have to go bring the s'mores. Okay, he's a little too close up there. This is my cat Oliver. He's 12. He's an old man, but he is like the sweetest, most laid back snuggle bear ever. He's such a, I mean, he can be a brat. I mean, he's a cat, don't get me wrong, but he's such a good boy. And then he has a sister that we got together that she's around somewhere. So yeah, so we have 2 dogs and 2 cats and a 2.5-year-old. So we have a busy house, but I hope you guys have enjoyed the chat. I hope you're all doing well mentally and physically and hanging in there. If you need to chat, send me a message because we're all, I mean, if anyone, granted, anyone other than like healthcare workers or anything like that says that they're busy right now, they're lying. There's not that much going on. So yeah, everybody stay happy, stay healthy, stay safe, and I will talk to everyone soon. Bye.